afternoon, Soul Fam. Welcome to another episode of Soulful Sunday. I am your host, Akeem Art. First, I must apologize for last week's episode due to the maintenance outage of Jamaica Public Service. We had to postpone the show. However, today we are here live and direct. Buenos tardes a todos, bienvenidos a la Soulful Sunday. Yo soy Akeem Art, su infrachayan para día. En el episodio de hoy del programa, vamos a hablar sobre las barreras de idioma y por eso hemos invitado a un invitado increíble que va a compartir con nosotros hoy su viaje para aprender un segundo idioma. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the show. I am Akeem Art, your host. In today's episode of the show, we're going to talk about language barriers. And so we have invited an amazing guest who is going to share with us today his journey on how he learned a second language. But before we do that, we have to interact with our viewers. And so we're going to start with Akeem Simit. Akeem, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show. Good afternoon to you, Mrs. Rose. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Akeem.
Good
Good evening.
afternoon, sir. Oh, he's there.
Oh, Akeem is here. Good afternoon to you, Akeem. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yes, so this evening we're going to talk about language barriers. And I want to ask you this evening, have you ever tried learning another language?
You're talking to me, right?
Yes, I am.
Or can you repeat what you just said because I'm having some internet issues here?
Okay, I was asking, have you ever tried to speak another language or learn to speak another language?
Well, I have never, but I would like to,
So if you could learn another language, what would it be and why? Hearing me, Akeem?
I can hear, but as I said, my internet is breaking up.
Okay. I was asking if you could speak one language, what would it be and why?
Go ahead. Can you repeat, Akeem?
If you could speak one language, what would it be and why?
Well, I think I would like to, Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Because in today's society, many persons or many company in Jamaica here are would like to know that you have a second language.
Mm-hmm.
Because with my company that I'm working with, they are actually seeking persons that are able to speak Spanish. So yeah, that is the reason why I would like to to learn Spanish, to speak Spanish.
So what about the Chinese? Because since recently, the Chinese are all over Jamaica. So would you try to learn the Chinese?
Well, yes, I would also like to learn the Chinese, but I think I would focus on Spanish first, then I will go over to Chinese.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Smith, for joining the show. Over to Mrs. Grace Rose. Good afternoon to you, Mrs. Rose. Thank you for joining the show.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, madam. So this evening I want to ask you, have you ever tried speaking another language? Well, yes, you're a Spanish person, I suppose.
Well, Spanish because that's the subject we did at high school, the other subject. So Spanish it is, not so competent in it, but able to read it and, understand just basic conversational Spanish.
Okay, so if you could speak one other language than Spanish, what would it be and why?
I've always been interested in learning French.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because it is the other taught language in our schools in Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
one. And two, I like the way it rolls off the tongue.
Okay. So have you
But
ever
I know a couple words, but I've not learned it formally. So I was thinking maybe this summer I could go on one of those sites online that teaches you, learn something new this summer. That would be it.
Okay. So have you ever been spoken to with a language you don't understand?
Yes, I have a friend who lives in Sweden,
Mm,
and she's been married and living there for years. So sometimes when we're engaging in conversation, I have to remind her, go into your Jamaican language for me, please, because she has an interesting mix of combining the Swedish language with
mm-hmm.
English, and then it sounds. So I just say, okay, just talk patois because, which I find interesting though. Her husband is the exact opposite of her. Is white, blue eyes, blonde hair. She is Jamaican black woman, and they have two children, and both children speak Swedish mostly because where they live, not much English is spoken. She speaks it to them at home, but they understand patois totally,
Mm-hmm.
and I find it such an interesting mix. Yeah,
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Rose, for joining the show this afternoon.
you're welcome.
Yes. We're over to now Mrs. Alicia Smith. Good afternoon to you, Mrs. Smith. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining this afternoon. Okay, Miss Alicia is having some internet issues as she told me this morning. Mr. Ryan Edwards, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining.
Good afternoon to you too.
Good afternoon to you, sir. This evening I want to ask you, have you ever tried to speak another language than your native language?
No,
So if you could speak one other language, what would it be and why?
um, Chinese
Hmm. Why Chinese?
because it's so fascinating to hear them speak. I don't know one thing what they're saying. So and to interact with Chinese that often, then I think to learn the Chinese language would be pretty much a good thing. But uh, that bite me tongue.
Oh, okay, Mr. Edwards, thank you for joining the show. Miss Smith, are you back with us?
I'm back.
Good afternoon to you, madam. Welcome to the show.
Good
So,
afternoon. Thanks for having me.
no problem. Have you ever tried to speak another language than your native language?
Well, the one that I was interested in from I've been going to school was Spanish.
Hmm.
I remember doing it at CXC. When
Okay.
I went sixth form, I had interest in doing it, but unfortunately, something happened to the teacher, and I could not pursue it. I had to take on a different subject. But I was so interested in it that even when I started working, there was this gentleman at my workplace who speaks Spanish fluently. So from time to time, he would have engaged me, but there are persons sometimes don't understand what is happening. And I remember they went and reported to the supervisor that when we want to talk, we're talking, then we speak Spanish.
Different language.
So, yes. So
Okay.
because of that, now they decided that they would have transfer us
Oh,
to different units. And because of that, no, that was where I just said, sure, let's stick to what I know, yeah. So because it don't seem as if I'm getting anywhere with this.
oh my Lord. So if you could speak another language than Spanish, what would it be and why?
I love listening to people they speak French. As Mrs. Rose said, I just love to hear it just flow out. So, you know,
Hmm.
and that is what I would have been interested in.
Okay, thank you, madam, for joining the show this afternoon.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So one other person, and then we are over to our guest, Miss Douglas. Good afternoon to you, Rahana. Welcome to the show. Okay, Rahana is not there. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Dean Dunkley. Thank you for joining the show.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Have you ever tried to speak another language than English?
Yes, I have.
What language is that and why?
Spanish. I guess Miss Rose and I had the same experience, I guess. While I was doing CSEC, I actually passed Spanish and failed English. It sounded a little bit, you know, weird, but that happened to me and I got a special award for it.
Oh,
I might not be able to listen well and to, quickly rearrange the sentence, but if you give me it on a paper, I'll be able to translate it as quick as possible.
okay. So if you could learn another language than Spanish, what would it be and why?
French, of course.
Why French?
And it to be honest, you just have a sound, to hear the how they pronounce the words and stuff. Now I'm always fascinated by it.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you, Mr. Dunkley, for joining the show.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I'm going to take this person and then we're over to our guest. Miss Mitchell, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show. Miss Mitchell, are you there? Okay, it seems as if Miss Mitchell is having some internet issues. So at this time, we are over to our guest, Mr. Jermaine Thomas. Good afternoon to you, sir. Welcome to
Good
the show.
afternoon.
Now, Mr. Jermaine Thomas, he is no Spanish person, I should say. Mr. Jermaine Thomas, I call him the Jamaican Chinese because he is so fluent in Chinese. He's actually a Chinese teacher, by the way, and also sign language. Yes, so good afternoon to you, Mr. Thomas. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yes, so sir, I want to ask you, at what age did you started learning Chinese and why?
Well, I started learning Chinese when I was 13 to going to age 14. My reason for such because of my religion. Um, a lot of Chinese persons came to Jamaica, and my religion saw the need to attack that field, Chinese people. So I took on that challenge. One of the reasons because my dad, he used to watch karate shows.
Mm-hmm.
So I always go by his house and I always hear these people talking. So I wanted to, understand what they were saying. And then about a year after, I heard my religion was, forming a Chinese group. So I took that initiative to join it.
Okay. So what was it like when you first started out learning Chinese?
It was exciting. I was excited enough to the point where I wanted to just say something to a Chinese person. The first word, ni hao, hello, to them. So it was so exciting. And actually, when I started the class, it's like my head keep kicking Chinese every day. So it was so exciting. Trust me, it was amazing learning that language because everybody was saying, that sticky looking word, everybody wanted to learn. So I said, yes, let me, take it on. So it was really exciting.
Okay, so the other day you were on a Instagram live and you mentioned something about you and your experience at Carlisa's Enterprise. So this evening I want you to tell my viewers about the experience you had at Carlisa's Enterprise.
Sure. So it was 2 weeks ago, while I'm heading to Carlisa to get something for my boss.
I saw two Chinese ladies.
Mm-hmm.
No, the receptionist there, could not understand her properly.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked over, and she was saying 50 fans and some other stuff. So he couldn't understand. So he was saying to her, write it down, write it down, write it down. So anyways, I approached her and I said, Ni hao. And then she looked at me and she said, Ni hao. And I said to her, in Chinese, Ni shou putong homa.
Mm-hmm.
And then, she was so, fascinated by me. So in English though, she asked me, you live in China? I said, no, I live in Jamaica. She said, you speak Chinese very fluently. So she was there talking back to the receptionist, and he was not understanding anything at all because she know little English. So I was there translating for them, and because of that, I got paid just for that 20 minutes, $6,000 for that 20 minutes while they're translating for them. They took my number. They wanted me to teach their two daughters Chinese because they said they don't have time. So, it was a really good experience seeing me there, interacting with them. So everybody in Carlisa was like, Black Chinese. So every time I went to Carlisa, they always say Black Chinese. So each time when a Chinese person goes to Carlisa, what they do is to call me, to translate and to speak the language. So they pay me for that. So each time, if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, it doesn't matter. They pay me just once cost.
The Chinese language has opened the door for you, hey, Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
So you may go ahead with your presentation now, Mr. Thomas.
Alright. So ni hao, Wan Ying, 我的名字是简美英，我是老师。No, can anybody tell me what I was just saying? Anybody?
Good. Hello. How are you? Hope you had a good evening.
Right. Christopher, but I said, hello, welcome. My name is Jeremy Thomas. Now, for everybody here, I know you all did not understand, other than Mrs. Rose. Now, I'm sure you would not want to stay on Google Meet for the study even if I continue to speak Chinese, right?
Well,
and that's one thing, that's a language barrier for all of us. Because me speaking Chinese for the entire day would not make any sense. Now, what we mean by a language barrier is a language barrier is a figurative phrase or used primarily to refer to some linguistic barrier, right, to communication. Now, if I say ni hao to somebody, that's a general introduction, right? For many Jamaicans, if they hear me say ni hao, they know what that is. Hello in Chinese. So, if I move my hands, with sign language, you would not understand. Some would on Google Meet. But learning a new language is fascinating. It is really exciting. It opens the doors, of many opportunities, right? Teaching people, seeing people advance in Chinese, it makes me feel very good, knowing that I'm doing a great job. Chinese is my second language, and then sign language my third language. These both languages, I sleep, dream, eat, pray, everything in these language. If one day I could just wake up, just speaking Chinese, trust me, it would be the best thing ever. Now I give an experience. One of my friends in Canada, I taught him Chinese for 2 years. What happened too is that he met in an accident, and his whole mind shift to Chinese. He could not speak any English any at all. That's how the brain works. Fascinating, right? He could not speak any English for an entire month. I had to call him, keep calling him, speaking Chinese, helping the doctors, each time as he speaks to them. What they had to do was to put some earpads in his ears for English, for him to understand, everything again. Now, for everybody here on Google Meet, I'm encouraging you to learn Chinese. It's really fascinating. And any questions you have, I'm open to it right now as I continue my presentation. But any questions, though, so far?
Where would one go to learn Chinese in Jamaica?
Jermaine Thomas Language Bookworm.
Yes, Mrs. Rose. Jermaine is a Chinese teacher.
Yes, so I'm a Chinese teacher, so you can always get my number and we can do a one-on-one session with Chinese on Zoom or WhatsApp, any platform you prefer.
Yeah, but I find it fascinating that you always said you learned it through your church outreach or church.
Yes, right.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and that's the reason why. So
Okay.
we speak translator stuff for our website into over 1,000 languages. But there's a French, Spanish, Chinese, and sign language group in our organization here in Jamaica. So I took up the challenge of learning Chinese because I enjoy doing that.
Okay.
Right. So I used to teach at Arden for their mother language, Little Scholars Academy, Liberty Academy, and various other schools, and UA also too. Some students I used to teach at the Confucius. So yeah. Any other question? Any other question? Anybody? Any comments?
Hello, good afternoon. Denver here. Hope you hear me well.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, you'd have mentioned that sign language is your third language. Is it ASL or JSL? And what advice would you give to someone who is very interested in learning language as relates to resources?
All right. So I do both JSL and ASL for over 13 years now. Right. For somebody who wants to learn these languages, it's a matter of practice when it comes to learning language. So first of all, when you just start, even the letters in sign language, you have to continue to use them every day. You might not see a deaf person every day that you walk, but you can practice. As I said, I have my platform that I use to teach individuals both American Sign Language and Jamaican Sign Language. So you can always join that. You have deaf individuals that are willing to help that I recommend all the time. There is CCD, Christian Caribbean School for the Deaf. That one, they do lots of classes. I'm not sure now because of the COVID from last year. But there are other means that you can learn sign language. It is recommended that YouTube helps, but sometimes it doesn't. I've never used YouTube before learning sign language. It was always self-taught for me and sitting down at conventions and assemblies where they have sign language. So those are the resources or means that you can use to learn.
Oh, sorry. One more question. Do you speak it only? So is it conversational for you, or do you write it also?
Chinese?
Yes.
Yes, I do. Right. Yes, I do.
You
I
write
read
it?
and I read and write. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So to
Right.
learn all those characters, isn't that like a whole 5 years of learning to stroke something? Or is it similar to how we learn our alphabet?
Aye. So in Chinese, there's no alphabet. There is initials and finals in Chinese. We have tones. So there are four tones in Chinese. High tones, the rising tone, the low tone, and the flat tone. With these tones, you have to use them properly. Give an example. I was doing field service, field ministry with my sister in Chinese field, and her husband was there. So he was like, "What a tie tie," but how he said that was when he said my two wife, when he should have said my one wife. So he put, though everything that he said was correct, but the tone messed him up a lot. So you have to use the tone when you're, doing your Chinese. You have to pronounce the tone very properly more than anything else. The characters, going back to the characters, you have the pinging. So you can't learn, when a person learning Chinese for the first time, I recommend that they learn the pinging first with the character. So it becomes easier for the individual to identify the characters, to read them, right? What I did first time learning Chinese with the character, what I did was to start out with my name. So each time I get the opportunity to write my name in Chinese, that's what I did. Then afterwards, I go to something that I use every day, a name, Jehovah. I start writing that, reading the characters, God, Shandi, I start writing it. So that's how you become fluent in being fluent in Chinese when you use it that way. Any other question? So let me do a little.
Hello,
Go ahead.
Denver
Yes,
here
go ahead.
again. On a professional basis, on a professional basis, like, how much would you charge someone, or would it cost for a person to learn, Chinese or sign language? What's the cost you're looking at per week or per month?
All right. I'm not sure if I should, but anyways, for a week, well, for a day, for me, for doing Chinese for a 1 hour or 1.5, for somebody that is going to learn sign language or Chinese, sign language is just $1,500 an hour and a half, right? For sign language. My Chinese is 2005 for an hour and a half. So let me do a quick quiz. I give everybody 2 minutes. So I'm going to give you 3 words. You can YouTube it, Google it, whatever means you can, and give me these 3 words in Chinese quickly, and let me hear how you pronounce them. So hello, thank you, and my name. 2 minutes with those. So let me see. Everybody got that one?
You said where to say it?
Yeah, in Chinese.
Okay. Well, I can only say one. You said where to Google it, right?
Anything. You can Google it and listen and see how you pronounce them.
Okay. I think I know Ni Hao from the cartoon I used to watch with my kids.
Oh, Ni Hao Kailan. Okay, good. So Ni Hao, that one. What is Mr. Akeem D? You want to try those for me first? Hello, thank you, and my name. Akim, all right? You want to try?
Me?
Come.
I know hello is ni hao. I don't know anymore.
You guys can Google. Dan Dunkley.
Is thank you CSME or some
You have to put all three of them and then afterwards. And afterwards.
Oh my god.
And then what we're going to do for Mr. Smith, if he's willing to volunteer, if you could turn his camera on after the Chinese to do something for me.
You and Mr. Simage would have to rearrange that. Arrange.
He is a silent person, so right. So I'm going to do something.
Somebody say thank you.
Akim was trying to say it, but I think he did not get it the way he should. So you can go ahead, Miss Rose.
Is it CSNE or CSNE? CSNE? No?
Good try. Dan, you're getting there, Mrs. Rose, but Ryan,
Why are you trying to embarrass me, Jermaine?
come Google.
Google, I'm in my kitchen. Don't do it.
Everybody give up. Mrs. Rose, come again with your thank you.
CSNE.
Hen hao, ta hao la. Good.
That means not bad.
Yes, it's good. Sorry.
You say it. You say it.
谢谢你，
谢
谢
谢。
谢。
Yes,
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 Me, no?
yes, 谢谢。Right. 谢谢你。Right.
谢谢你。
No, 谢。
谢。
She.
谢谢。So the third tone. So 谢谢。
谢谢。
Right. 太好了，很好。Right.
Next time we go one square. Remember to say that.
Right. So yeah, Kabila. So right, 谢谢。Anybody with my name? I didn't get that.
我的名
What the nings here or some
Go again, Denver. Okay. Good try. Anybody else?
我的名
我的名字是
我的名字
No, we don't want any Google repeating anything. We want you. We don't want any Google. Come, let's go. Somebody else?
I think somebody from my production team wants to answer.
Sure, no problem. Gan, go ahead.
Lord. They're
Go
hiding
ahead.
behind the scene. They're hiding behind the camera. Oh my god.
They can always talk.
我的
我的名字
Everybody give up on that?
Oh. Yes, yes.
Alright. So first of all, hello, 你好, 你好, 你好. So there, the rising tone is in ni hao. So ni hao. It means you good or hello. You good or hello, right? Ni hao.
Mhm.
And then we have what again?
Thank you.
Thank you. 谢谢你，谢谢你，谢谢你。Huh?
Go again. Repeat.
谢谢你，
Okay.
谢谢，谢谢你。Then now we have my name, right?
Mhm.
我的名字是，我的名字是，我的名字是，名字是，right?
It seems as if Chinese is going to take me 7 years to learn.
Not at all. But 可以学习中文普通话。
Mhm.
So you know, but you can
What's
learn
that?
Chinese. But you
Okay.
can learn Chinese. All right. So it's not hard. So guys, as I said, Chinese is a language that I really love. It is close to my heart. Sometimes I think in Chinese. As I said, I dream in Chinese. There is no other language that I love more than Chinese, guys. Really beautiful language. Take on the challenge. It pays. I can tell you that it pays. It opens so many doors of opportunities for you guys in learning Chinese. Don't give up. I'm always here. My number is not hard to get. You can always reach me in learning Chinese. Well,
Where
Mr.
can we
Smith,
reach you?
repeat.
Where can we
Jermaine,
reach you?
Mr. Thomas,
Right. Yes, ma'am.
it's been years I know you, you have never taught me how to speak Chinese. I mean,
Well,
to say something.
that can be arranged, Mr. Edwards.
I'm too, no, Mr. Edwards, me. I'm too old now. You stay really bad.
Okay, no worry. I will arrange that. Mr. Denver Smith. Where's Mr. Smith? Mr. Smith, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Good. Could you turn your camera on, please?
Well, so wait. Oh Jesus.
Yes, please.
I haven't
Yes.
seen the light. I haven't seen the light of day. It's more of a hurricane and chill for me so far.
Okay, well, try. I want to do something for the guests here. For persons who joined here. Please.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Sure. Guys. Anybody here knows at least the sign language here other than Mr. Smith here?
I don't think so.
I
Nobody else knows
I used to perform, I used to perform with it in UWI, but like, you know, you go and you sign to songs, but it's been a
Yes.
while. Once you don't practice, you lose.
Okay. You know, I think for sign language songs, I can't say they don't make sense, but they just think about words. There are some sign language, the words are there and they're signing very well. But it's JSL. It's a part of JSL. But I will talk to you, Mrs. Rose, on that.
Yes, please.
No, man, so we learn the rudiments of doing the alphabet and everything and how to do conversation in it, you know. But like I say, it's been years and when you don't practice. So I remember some things, but not, you know, not fluent in it.
Okay. Well, how much would you give yourself when it comes to sign language? Then, how much percentage? All right, out of 10, then.
Then?
Out of 10, yes.
Then, not no. Then maybe I would have been about maybe 6 out of 10. Right now, maybe I'm at a 2.
Okay. Well, you can go back to the 10.
Yeah.
You can pass the 6 going to 10. I encourage you to learn, though. I encourage you to. All right. So, guys, So this is my friend. Denvar. Here. So ready?
What am I expected to do now?
Sign.
You want me to sign what exactly?
Just follow. Just follow. No matter. Just follow.
I'm currently holding the camera, so it's a bit difficult to sign.
You can
I
use one
only
hand.
have
You
access
can
to
use
one
one
hand.
hand. You can use one hand. Trust me. If you're good at that, you can use one hand. Right. Good.
Your camera is a bit buffer. It's buffering so much. I'm not seeing it. You're moving a bit fast.
Oh, sorry. I signed very fast. Sorry, I
Good.
signed very fast. Yes, I signed very fast. So if I'm moving slow, I feel like an handicap. But go ahead, I'll try. Yes, I don't
We have
sign
to
very
move slow
slow.
for the
Right.
newbies.
So, so I'm signing very
Yeah,
slow.
one. Your hand movements are fizzing out somewhat. I'm not seeing anything. Like
Everybody
saw
seeing me,
something,
right?
but not moving.
Yes, I'm seeing you.
But look,
Let's name.
yeah, your sign name.
Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to figure. Jesus. Hard to do with one hand.
Good. Yes, you
Give me
can.
a second.
So guys, I'm going to do something,
Mhm.
and let me see how interesting it will be.
So until Denver comes back, Mr. Thomas, if we want to learn Chinese and sign language, where can we find you?
My number is everybody can take it.
Please type it in
493.
the chat,
I can type it in the chat. Good. Sorry.
please.
Or right. So you can take my number here, and you can DM me regarding that. I have classes also too on Zoom platform on a Wednesday at 6:30 and Saturdays at 11 a.m.
So that's
For both
Wednesdays, 6:30.
Wednesdays at 6:30 and Saturdays at 11 a.m.
Okay.
Right.
So guys, if you want to learn Chinese like myself, you can go on Wednesday on Zoom or on a Friday or a Thursday or a Saturday. I don't even remember.
So any day you choose. All right.
All right,
Ready
come
now?
back. I'm having some difficulties with the camera.
Oh, gosh. So I was
Difficulties with the
asking.
camera. Hold the camera steady.
Oh, sorry. So I was asking if you're ready. Yeah, if you're ready, no.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, good. Now I was asking the honest, right? Because I'm thinking you missed that. So I'm going to sign. I'm going to sign something, and I ask, can you see my camera, Mr. Smith?
Yes, I'm seeing it clearly now.
Clearly, all right. So maybe. So I'm going to ask you to translate for me, if you can. Can you do that?
Yes, I believe I can do some sort of translation.
Okay. Okay, good. Can you translate for them? So you have to translate for them. Right.
So you
Hello,
bet how you're
hello.
doing so
My
many
name
ways
is
and you spelled out
Jamaica.
your name.
Right. So Denver
So
going to
here, Mrs.
translate.
Rose is translating. Hold on, Denver. Give Mrs. Rose a try.
No, no, I just got that.
I was
Hello,
gonna
my name is Jermaine Thomas. I think that's what he signed.
Yes,
yeah, that's
right.
what he said.
Good.
He's saying that.
Right, good.
Okay.
So right now.
Okay, no, I'm lost.
So Mrs. Rose, could you identify anything else?
Boy, between reading a hand and reading a body language. No, no, I think Denver is more correct than me, right? You know, I think that's the challenge when you do it in
Mhm.
performing. You don't really, you're not on the other end to see it being done. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. When you do it,
I don't understand, to be honest. I can't understand because I
yeah.
don't know
So
how to.
Miss,
yeah,
Yeah.
miss,
so
I believe I understand what you're saying, Miss. I think
yeah, because Denver,
performing
you
doesn't really gives performing doesn't really gives you the conversation type of
convert
level
right,
to sing
exactly.
language.
So you're seeing the
But
sign from the behind, not in front. I don't know. I've never conversed with somebody except to say hello with this young man who lives near me who is deaf and how are you? I can send like basic things. But
Right.
when you're doing it like that now, it's like you talking Chinese fast. I mean, I understand. We can pick out the ni oh, we can pick out the thank you now and come. But yeah.
I understand clear what you say, but what happened? You see, when you see the signs, it's easy for you to understand more. Understand? So suppose me sign um Jehovah forgive. You understand clearly that? So Jehovah him forgive, right? Some JSL, but JSL is the same as ASL. Jehovah him forgive, right? It's the same. Sometimes, for instance, faith, right? This is faith in JSL, but this is faith in ASL. So you have strong faith, right? It's strong faith. But ASL is faith like this. Faith and faith.
there are actually two more ways they can actually do it.
Right. For instance, help in ASL, help, and then help in JSL. So it's like you're handing out your hands, but you're still helping somebody by taking your hands, right? So it's the same. It's different. I should say it's different. Because sometimes when you're signing to deaf people in Jamaica, some of them know ASL a little, and more than JSL.
And some also have their like how we have the patois version of English.
It's the
They
same.
have their
It's the
way of
same. It's called
conversating without going through the long rigors of someone who is
yeah.
learning it.
This one's called JSL, right?
Yeah.
Jamaican pronounce patois. So the same thing as patois. What we do as witnesses, we translate these things in Jamaican Sign Language. So we have them there on our website that they can use to look at it. You will not you won't see the words while they're signing, but you can look and identify.
Okay.
So right.
Anything else
But
you
as I
want to
said,
share with us, Mr. Thomas, before we go to the affirmation? We're out of time.
okay. So as I said, thanks for joining everybody. In listening to language barriers. They can be, as I said, language can be really fascinating, right? It's really fascinating. And now I'm taking on a challenge now of learning Lingala. It's an African language, right? Lingala. So been 6 months, and it's really really nice. I love singing in Lingala, and yeah, talking to my Lingala friend um there. So keep keep up the good work, everybody learning a new language. Um, if it's not Chinese or sign language, boohoo, joke. But I mean, I'm taking on the challenge of refreshing my memory when it comes to Spanish. Spanish is very easy. And French. Those are just easy languages for me right now, to be honest. Only saying that, um, so I'll take a refresher course from anybody who is fluent at Spanish. But yeah, so I'm always available. Once you inbox me, I'm always available to start classes whenever you are available. Your time is of importance. So yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Mr. Smith is asking if you can remind him of your website name.
Language bookworm.
Language Bookworm. Type it in the
Yeah,
chat, please.
yeah.
Yes.
This is not access it on Facebook though.
So, Mr. Smith, you can find him at Language Bookworm. And for those who want to learn Chinese and sign language, you can also take his number from the chat, DM him, and you can speak of the here. One language sets you in the corridor of life. Two languages opens every door along the way. Learning a new language can sometimes be a challenging and frustrating experience. At times, you might feel that you have reached a dead end, hit a brick, and motivating yourselves can become difficult. However, don't forget that speaking a second language not only opens new doors but also has numerous other advantages. Languages puts our worlds in focus, give structure to our thoughts, and help us to communicate with the people around us. They are also fluid concepts built from our heritage, our people, and our interactions with the world, growing and changing to keep up with the modern day whilst reminding us of our past. And so, on this episode of the show, I am affirming that I will learn to speak a second language. That's it for today's Soul Fam. Again, I just want to say thanks to our guest, Mr. Jermaine Thomas, for sharing with us this afternoon. To our viewers that keeps us going, a big thank you to you all. My producer and technical team, thank you. I am Akeem Art, your host, signing out of another episode of the show. Join us next week, same time and the same place. God bless you. Until then, continue to refuel your soul and to be grateful for your blessings. Have yourselves a very good afternoon.